Time to react! Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are reacting. Another reaction video. This offseason is so boring. So today we're reacting to San Antonio Spurs 2021-22 season preview by the NBA show. A few people have sent me this on Discord, and I said I will watch it. All right, I have not watched any of this. I want it to be authentic. So let's go ahead and get into this. Let's go!
Dude, what the hell did they do this year?
Okay. Right. Right off the bat, huh? All right, this is gonna be a long one, huh? All right,
let's wrap up with the San Antonio Spurs.
Wow.
Spurs. So they're.
This guy looks. No, I'm not doing it. I'm I'm better than that.
Ironically, they were one of the more active teams in.
We were, Brian.
They entered with $50 million in cap space and left with Doug McDermott and Zach Collins and Al-Farouq Aminu.
Okay. That was a little condescending. But I think we did a great job in free agency. Let's see what these fine gentlemen have to say about it.
So big day for the Spurs. But no, I mean they get some veterans in.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about the new guys first. Big buckets.
Buckets.
3-point shooter. This could be their Davis Bertans replacement. What do you expect?
Okay, right off the bat, I do not like that comparison. Davis Bertans and McBuckets are not similar at all. The only thing they have that is similar is that they can shoot threes. Doug McDermott, especially at this point in his career, has only gotten better. He shows or displays way more basketball IQ. He's good at cutting at the basket. He's good at breaking down his defenders a little bit better. He's just an overall better player now, and I would say that he's better than Davis Bertans. Now, Davis Bertans, don't get me wrong, I loved him. I love me some Davis Bertans. I loved his toughness, but at the end of the day, Davis Bertans was just a three-point shooter. Now, you might say they have similarities when it pertains to them being in the power forward position and often being overpowered, but, I mean, that just kind of is what it is when you're a big man and you shoot threes. Usually they're not the greatest defenders, but all right. Bad comparison, Brian. Let's go.
Out of him this year.
Well, given what they paid and what they had available for the money, I'm hoping for a career year at the very least.
Okay, Doug McDermott has only gotten better, number one. Number two, we only paid, $42 million 3 years? So what is that, about 14, 13, 14? Yeah, $14 million a year for a Doug McDermott. That's kind of filling the spot of Rudy Gay, who I think will be better for what we need right now than Rudy Gay. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of a bargain, especially where Doug McDermott is in his career. I think it's like a really sweet spot. You know what I mean? Like, he come to the San Antonio Spurs. He only would have got that money here, but we didn't necessarily overpay for him for what we needed from him. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't like the look on your face, Morton. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm hoping he turns into, Paul Pierce, which was his pre-draft comp.
For a $14 million contract? What are you talking about?
Dude, what the hell did they do this year? Like, it's just.
Okay, they gave a preview, but then the preview was only a minute in. Okay.
Look at this. Look at the situation here.
Yeah.
You were asking. You just said they had 50 million. No, it wasn't 50 million, right? Was it?
I think it was 50.
Was it 50? All right. And the first question you're asking me is.
It was around. I think it was around there, right? I think it was around 50. It might have been 60. No. It was around 50. I think I'm equating for something else.
So how will Doug McDermott do? If that isn't the perfect way of looking at their offseason, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
What the hell? Zach Collins?
Bro, okay, first off, I don't even know if I have to correct this, but you're saying, what the heck did they do this offseason? We didn't just get random pieces. We literally got what we needed for those positions. Rudy Gay is gone. We know Patty Mills is going. We needed a veteran. And then on top of it, we don't have big men. We really were just limited to Eubanks and Jakob. And at this point, Eubanks wasn't even playing. We needed forwards. And yeah, I don't see how this is a bad thing.
For that amount of money, $22 million over 3 years? Yeah. I understand that it's only partially guaranteed. I get it, but
wait, he's talking about Zach Collins now, right? Yeah, that's also something that's not that big a deal. I think he's guaranteed $7 million the first year. Second year is only 50% of that $7 million, and then he's guaranteed nothing in the third year. So, yeah, I don't see the risk there with Zach Collins. I don't think that's a big deal, especially with the Spurs' history in which we continuously get players that are injured, and they aren't really that injured when they're with us. I mean, we literally had Manu Ginobili, a guy who would throw his body everywhere and try to injure himself, who ended up being just fine. Not to mention Rudy Gay, who really should have came off of a season or career-ending injury. I don't really recall him being injured that often with our San Antonio Spurs. So, once again, Mr. Morton, you don't know what you don't know, homie.
Dude, this season is like this summer. It was. I'm very underwhelmed.
Mm.
What should we have done? What should we have done? I think the Spurs did a pretty... Okay, look. Okay, I know this is a reaction. I'm talking way too much. Let me get the inside of this man's brain, okay? It's understandable.
So, like, I can answer your question, but instead, I think maybe we should talk about what the hell are they doing?
That's fair. Yeah, I mean, I like the Zach Collins one. I actually don't mind because it was 3 years, 22 million, I think, but like most of it is not guaranteed. Right. I want to say.
It's not most of it. Half of it, basically, overall, is not guaranteed. But yeah.
So,
but the guy is clearly made out of glass, though.
Right. I mean, it's a fair concern.
I mean, yeah, it's a fair concern, but you paid nothing for him. It's $7 million. Look, you know how many guys that we've paid like $7 million or even sometimes a little bit more than that don't play at all, that just sit on the bench? This is a really good investment. I don't know.
But like they gave themselves enough.
And he's a good teammate.
Outs that I actually like the gamble. Because
yeah, we do have enough outs. Yeah, Brian knows exactly what he's talking about. We got so many bigs till we're gonna be all right.
The guy was a top 10 pick a couple of years ago, and has upside if he can stay healthy. It's just if he can stay healthy, it's a huge concern there.
It should keep you one of the featured signings, is what I'm getting at.
Well, it's
wait. What did he say? I didn't hear that part. What did he say?
It should keep you one of the featured signings, is what I'm getting at.
Okay.
Well, it's
one of the featured signings.
It's not like
let's put this.
Yeah, this was one of their most featured signings of the year.
What does that mean? Featured signings? Oh, like our big signing of the year? I don't know. I think the Spurs are kind of sitting back and seeing, hey, maybe Lonnie can be that guy. Maybe DeJounte Murray can be that guy. And if they can have a shot at Ben Simmons, I think they're going to try to do that. But right now, I think the Spurs are sitting back and saying we could potentially have a lot of emerging superstars at the same time. So, yeah, they're just trying to fill those roles.
Because they spent half of their cap space they spent on the DeMar signing trade, bringing back Thad and Aminu. They only, their only two big signings were McDermott and Collins.
I get that. Even
I think grabbing Thad was a pretty big one. I don't even know what's going to happen with that. I don't know.
So, though, like it feels if you're going to be swinging on Collins, who are they bidding against is kind of what I'm wondering here.
Yeah.
Bro, you're paying nothing for him. What's the problem here? Like, even if Zach Collins just gives, I don't know, he's just a good bench player. Like, I don't know. I mean, you paying nothing for him. I don't get the problem here. He's, like, really hung up on this. Now, if Zach Collins would have got McDermott's contract, I understand the uproar. But, dude, calm down.
Yeah, I mean, because cap space dried up quickly.
Right. I mean, look, Isaiah Hartenstein is still on the market.
Mm-hmm.
Presumably gettable for the min deal. I would take that over Zach Collins at this rate.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
he say that like, you know, I don't know. I don't think. Look, Zach Collins fits this team right now. The Spurs have been continuously trying to bid on what am I trying to say? Potential. Okay, they've been putting a lot of money, a lot of effort into potential. Luka Samanic, potential. Lonnie Walker, potential. So I don't see any difference here. I mean, even I think getting the Jock Landale deal, potential. So yeah, I think that's what they're kind of banking on. So hopefully, maybe, I mean, even if 2 or 3 of these guys can immerse as a star, the Spurs have one. So I think that's how they're looking at it.
I hear you, but at the same time, if Collins does stay healthy and hits, I think he has much higher upside than Hartenstein or anyone else on the market at this point. Again, it's like you're gambling on health.
It's a smart gamble.
Upside? What is Zach Collins' upside?
What is Zach Collins' upside? Is he seriously asking that? Zach Collins' upside could potentially be one of the top 5 power forwards in the league. That's his upside. What do you mean? What's Zach Collins' upside? That's his upside. He could be really good. Like, really good. I don't know, man. I mean, the Spurs are really good. Maybe this guy just thinking about the Kawhi Leonard situation, and now we have, like, this stigma that we have bad medical staff or something. I don't know. But, yeah. Get him, Brian.
And fully optimized, fully maximized Zach Collins. What is he?
Get him, Brian.
If you're a content creator,
whoa, no, we don't like that. We do not like that. We don't like ads. Dude, why don't I just put the whole thing on there? Like the skippable ads thing. All right, let's do it.
Probably. I mean, he could. Ideally, he's a guy who could play either position. He has a 3-ball. He's not a high volume 3-point shooter, but like he's he shot. All right, it's a 19 shot sample size. I'm not even going to mention that. But the year before, he shot 33%. So it's not like he's a complete zero in that regard.
And he played 17 minutes a game in college, so we have not seen him play under any sort of high role capacity since high school.
Yeah. I mean, he can't stay healthy too. Like,
okay, that's actually a good point from Morton. Yeah.
I'm not saying this isn't without risk, but the fact that they have so many outs from it, it's like you're paying him 1 year, $7 million.
Right.
And then after that, it's 3.5, right? After that, guaranteed.
A decent probability that he gets hurt again or doesn't.
And he can outplay. You can easily play a $7 million contract.
Live up to it, and then
I mean, how much do we pay Pau Gasol? Like, we pay Pau Gasol a lot of money, so this is nothing.
Just get out. But if not, if he does stay healthy, then chances are he's earning a lot more than the $7.4 million that he's going to earn next year. Like,
exactly, yeah.
Like, if he was a free agent next offseason, he stays healthy, he has a great year, he's going to make more than the $7.4 million that he's now under contract for. So you're potentially overpaying him this year, risking the health, risking whatever, for the chance of we might have this guy under contract for 2 more years at a bargain rate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, thank you, Brian.
I get that logic. What I wonder is,
he big brain. Brian, big brain.
Could they have gotten him for even cheaper? Because I wonder if there was even a market for him. Mm-hmm. Secondarily, when I look...
Wait, whoa, what? Could we have got him for any cheaper? Could we have gotten Zach Collins any cheaper than nothing? What are you talking about? Like, literally, it is $7 million, and then it's $3.5 million guaranteed, and then there's nothing guaranteed. What do you mean could we have got him cheaper? For what? What would we have done with that extra couple $1 million, Morton? Tell me.
At his statistical profile dating back to college, there's just no evidence that he's...
It sounds like he just doesn't like Zach Collins. I don't think this isn't one of those guys that don't like the Spurs, okay? All right? I don't think that this is a guy who's like, oh, I hate the Spurs. I don't think that's it at all. I think he just doesn't like Zach Collins. He doesn't believe in Zach Collins. Yeah, that's what this feels like.
Ever been someone who projects as a high-end, statistical producer. Like, we were high on him when he came into the NBA. Of course, he got injured and whatnot, but like, was he ever really, quote unquote, good?
He's good when he plays.
Yeah, in the NBA, he has not. Right. Like, he has shown nothing in his 3 years in the NBA to suggest he's a $7 million.
But he's always
injured.
Still
just gambling on the upside.
Right.
What? Am I crazy here? I feel like a gamble $7 million is not a lot of money. Am I crazy here? I mean, $7 million is not that much, guys. I don't know. Look, maybe it's just me being a Spurs fan, understanding that it's a small market, and us spending $7 million on a player is kind of a necessity at this point. We have to do that sometimes. So I don't know. I don't think it's that's bad, kind of though.
I just think if you are armed with $50 million coming into a summer, like I just expected more than what they ended up with. And
it's still not over yet. We might still make a move.
Fully recognize that a lot of that is Thad Young doing the whole DeMar DeRozan sign and trade, taking on Alfredo Camino.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
But Doug McDermott and
Doug McDermott has gotten better. Okay. Give him a little credit for last season.
A chance on Zach Collins? That's the best you could do?
Well, I think it's a good chance.
In the free agency market? And this is not me ripping on San Antonio. It's honestly a legitimate question about, has the interest level in San Antonio just dwindled so much that this was the best you could do? Like, is that the situation that we're looking at? was this really them scouring the market and getting back the information that no, the best player you can possibly hope to acquire via cap space is Doug McDermott?
Yeah.
I don't think that that's the case. I think that the Spurs were looking at the big man that's available, some of which were going to ask for way too much money. If you remember the other Collins, because that's his name, right? The other Collins for the Atlanta Hawks, right? The other Collins. What's his name? I'm drawing a blank. I don't like these takes, and they're starting to weigh on me a little bit. Yeah, John Collins. Okay. I don't know what I was about to say. I was about to say Josh Collins. Yeah, John Collins. Yeah, he was going to ask for way too much money. So the other power forwards that were available, I think that this was a good gamble, and it was a smart move. The Spurs came into this offseason with a mindset of we can try to make a big move, but right now what we really need is one shooting, two big men, and that's exactly what they went and got. And then in the draft, they're taking a shot with their their guard Primo. I guess he is going to be a basketball god, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, there weren't that many guys that changed hands this offseason. Maybe you could argue they would have been better off re-signing Patty Mills or re-signing DeMar DeRozan, but we don't know that was on the table either.
No, that's not a good idea. That wouldn't have been a good idea. Maybe Patty Mills, that would have been fine, I guess. But no, re-signing DeMar DeRozan wasn't. You would never be able to see exactly what you got if we would have kept DeMar DeRozan. So
yeah, either. Correct. Those guys might have just wanted to get out and not be, because like San Antonio is very clearly in the midst of, call it a rebuild, call it a retool, whatever you want. They missed the playoffs in 2 straight years. It doesn't seem likely that they're going to make it this year. Guys in their 30s probably don't want to
we might
come to the team right now.
Guys in their 30s would definitely want to come to the team right now. They make sure they take care of you. You're playing under pop. You're getting quite a bit of money, more money that you would get probably elsewhere. Yeah, they kind of do want to come here.
Right. No. Well, why?
But then again, why would you want to go after a bunch of over 30-year-olds right now anyway with the team that we have? So that doesn't even make sense.
Go after 30-year-olds, but like there were a lot of restricted.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he just said what I said.
Just this year.
Yeah, like why didn't they go after a John Collins?
Okay, well, restricted free agents. There you go. You're talking about a restricted free agent. They're restricted, so you're gonna have to put a lot of money on them. Somebody like a Collins, they just mentioned Collins. Collins is going to be way too much money. The Spurs did not want to spend that much money, especially when they're still sitting back and saying, do we have potential for Lonnie? Do we have potential in DeMar DeRozan? I mean, not DeMar DeRozan, DeJounte Murray. Do we have potential in Keldon? Do we have potential? Like, it's so many players that you still have to wait and see what you got for them to just go all out on a John Collins. Now, I do believe, like, grabbing a Ben Simmons will make sense with this team and how it's set up. But, yeah, John Collins wouldn't have made sense.
Yeah. For instance,
yeah, like you know how I feel about John Collins, but like it's seemingly a lot of teams still love him. So and maybe the Spurs just aren't one of them. But
he's not a Spurs like player. I don't even like John Collins.
He signed for $125, so that's $25 million a year.
That's $525 is a big investment, bro. Especially going forward, and you're looking at potentially if you keep DeJounte Murray and the more money that you're gonna have to give to him down the future. I don't know. I feel like 5-year 125 is a lot to invest in. And who's to say that his agents wouldn't say that 100, because 125 for 5 years for $25 million a year will look different in Atlanta than it would in San Antonio. He's going to get a little more press in with the Atlanta Hawks because especially with him being with Trae Young. He's going to be in a better position than if he were to come to San Antonio. So if he was going to come to San Antonio, being a restricted free agent, he would have asked for way more money than the $125 million. So that's not even a good way of looking at it.
Year. Mm-hmm. What if they offered him a max, right? Like straight on full.
Why would we do that? That's why. Why would we do that? Why would we do that? John Collins hasn't shown enough right now for us to even do that. The Spurs are in a decent position. I don't know why we would go all out on a John Collins, and he's not even a Spurs-like player. We really do bank on characteristics, the personality, how he's going to gel with the coach, how he's going to gel in the community, how he's going to gel with the other players. I don't think John Collins would be a good representation of San Antonio. I don't know.
On max. No, yeah, I know. I agree. I wouldn't give him that either. But like, it's all.
But you mentioned it, bro. 120. Whatever.
Doing this. I mean, I just don't see the point here. How is Doug McDermott going to change anything? What is the? Unless this is.
We need shooting.
Step one of a much
and we had no shooting last season.
Much larger.
And he's one of the top shooters in the league.
we are just not seeing the full image of right now.
Mhm.
It just kind of feels like they're throwing darts at the board, hoping to hit something. Which,
Well, I actually do agree with that in some regard. It feels like we've been doing that, or at least we're doing that right now with the guard situation. We're kind of like, look, one of you guys are going to step up.
I guess is true for everyone on some metaphorical
There's a barking dog outside.
level, but I don't know. This seemed weird. It seemed like an overpay.
I'm not as down on their offseason as you seem to be. Like I think what they are doing is, signing these guys to stay
I like Brian.
afloat right now. They don't want to be Houston or Detroit last year or OKC. Like they don't want to completely tank, especially with Popovich still in the fold. Maybe that's an option once he retires, but
Right,
we're not going to send
right.
them out that way.
Right, good point.
So they get some veterans in there to replace what Rudy Gay, DeMar DeRozan, Patty Mills brought to the table.
There we
You're
go.
still building around the young guys. You're still at least for now.
Yes.
With Murray, White,
He gets
Devin
it.
Vassell, Keldon Johnson, Jakob Poeltl. So like they're actually a pretty deep team. It's just as we talked about
He
repeatedly.
gets it.
This they don't have a top 25 player. So these feel like moves that raise their floor more than raise their ceiling.
Yeah.
Like
That's a
they won't
good.
be one of the
I like that. Raise the floor instead of raising the ceiling. That's a good point. And I think the Spurs are banking on potential. I really like him. I mean, Morton, you're a little out there, man. I don't hate Morton though. Okay, this isn't like the other react I did and I got really heated. I think Morton is a fine guy. Okay, he's okay. I think that he's just, I don't know. He's being a little reactionary, just a little bit when it comes to this.
worst teams in the NBA, but they're also not going to be one of the 10 best. They'll be like right in that. Maybe we can make it to the play-in tournament, but 10, 11.
Maybe. It really depends on who makes the leap. Like, I feel like if Lonnie Walker makes a big leap, then yeah, I think we could be top 8
12 mix
in the West.
That I agree with you with. I totally agree with that. Like with that mindset that this is about lifting the floor a little bit, which they did. I just wonder if they did it the right way. And I know.
What is the right way? I don't get it. I don't get what you would have wanted them to do. Like the only suggestion you gave thus far is that we should have gave John Collins a max deal. I don't agree with that. I don't think that's a smart move. I don't know. I don't think he's shown enough to give him a max deal. Not only that, even like a Ben Simmons, that would make sense. I mean, I know it's going to end up being a trade, and obviously he's not a free agent, so you can't give him that max deal. But if he was a free agent or something, okay, that makes a little sense. He's shown so much. But yeah, I don't know.
Oh, that when this hits YouTube, Spurs fans are going to be in the comments and they're going to be super upset.
Oh, you two Spurs fans. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. He knows.
pissed.
Yeah, no, but look, it's because
I'm
expect
sorry,
more
guys.
from the Spurs. I really do. Is that unfair? Maybe they just not that team that we always try to associate them with. Like maybe they are just turning the corner. They're trying to do something else. But like you talked about, building around the youngsters. You know how much I love Dejounte Murray.
Yeah.
I still wonder if he's the best player on your team. How far can you go?
The cap said Beyonce Murray.
What is your ultimate end game here? They don't have that one player to build around. They don't have that 2-man, 3-man young core that is really good enough to kind of structure everything around.
I actually agree with that. I'm not disagreeing with Morton right here. He has a really good point. Yeah, we don't really have a guy to really structure a rebuild completely around, but I do believe that the situation that we're in right now, you could potentially sit back and see if one of these players will be able to come alive, okay? Come alive in the nighttime.
So shouldn't there be a sense of urgency in trying to identify a player of that ilk and then aggressively go after that individual? Or is this just part of the plan where they, like you said, stay the course because of Pop, they wait it out, and then presumably at that point in time, they're going to be worse. Then they bottom out and they hopefully get a top draft pick. Is that the route? Because that seems drawn out and unnecessary.
Yeah, I mean, Ben Simmons has been connected to them, so I think they'll sniff around. They have plenty of these. We heard that from Shams Charania recently that the Suns are investigating Thad Young. Like he's on the final year of his deal, $14.2 million. I would be surprised if Thaddeus Young is still on this team after the trade deadline. I think they will try to parlay some of these guys.
That's kind of how I feel.
Into pieces that help them.
All right, let's skip around a little bit. Look like we're kind of wrapping up.
When the main return for Kawhi Leonard was DeMar DeRozan and Jakob Poeltl. DeMar DeRozan's now gone. You only get Thad and Aminu back in the pick in 2025, I believe. So you lost a top 5 player in the NBA for what amounted to nothing of real value in terms of long-term team building.
Oh, that's not fair. That's not a good one. We traded Kawhi Leonard, and we got a pick in which we used for Keldon Johnson, okay? Now, Jakob Poeltl, you can argue, maybe not, will be worth it in the long run. I don't know. The Spurs haven't really been crazy about having top-tier centers. I mean, last was Tim Duncan and David Robinson. But, yeah, I don't think that's a fair comparison. I mean, Keldon Johnson could potentially end up being that guy going forward. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's not a fair one. I mean, he just won an Olympic gold medal. So, nope. I'm not buying that one. Nope.
So it's fair to wonder how this.
And DeMar DeRozan, yes. I mean, you got DeMar DeRozan, which you just got for Thad Young. Don't know what's going to go on with the Thad Young pick, but who knows? What if? Okay, check it out. Okay, there's layers to this. What if? And this might not be fair, but what if we traded Thad Young for a pick? We packaged the pick with maybe a couple other players and got Ben Simmons. What if something like that happened? Then it would be, it would be technically you traded Kawhi for Ben Simmons, Keldon Johnson, and Jakob. Not necessarily. I know it doesn't work like that, but you get them all.
The Spurs get out. Like right now, it feels like they're stuck on that treadmill of mediocrity. And
yes,
like how
true.
Get out from here. I'm not sure.
Well, no, and that's the next point I wanted to bring up, because like you have a guy like Lonnie Walker, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think you and I both agree that we've seen enough of Lonnie to know that he's not someone who warrants a major extension. Like he's probably somewhere in the $8 to $10 million range, if that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I don't even personally. I don't even think he's worth that much. I think he's a shooter who doesn't really hit a whole lot of shots and is not really a well-rounded all-around player.
I disagree. I think he is a well-rounded all-around player. That's actually like the main thing Lonnie Walker is. I don't think he's just a shooter. I do believe that he's going to be streaky. I believe him, or I agree with Morton in that regard. He is going to be a little streaky. But at the end of the day, no, Lonnie Walker is an all-around player. Like by definition, I would say that. He can shoot mid-range shots. He can drive to the paint. He can pass the ball, facilitate. He can shoot threes. I mean, he's the definition. He can play pretty good defense. He's the definition of an all-around player. So you probably just haven't watched enough of Lonnie Walker, which that's fine, man. You're covering the whole NBA. You know, you are the NBA show after all, huh?
So why haven't they pivoted? They've spent 3 years with this guy. He's still on the roster.
This is his career. This is his contract year, and they could still potentially do a trade. I don't know. I don't think they will, but I mean, he's on his contract year.
Don't give him an extension this year, which they might. We don't know if they might, but if they don't, then he goes into restricted free agency next year, and then what?
Right.
That's a good point too. Well, if he goes into restricted free agency and he didn't do well this season, we could still spend more time with him. Other teams aren't going to pay a bunch for him, okay? And then we can just put some money in it and just a little bit of money and bring him back.
Why haven't you moved on from him before, especially when you have this guard lockjam like you've had Derek White and the.
Well, give Lonnie Walker a little bit of time, because you're saying 3 years and that's not even fair, because the first season he barely played, second season barely played, third season was actually the time in which he did get more minutes. He had a lot to learn his first season. I think he was a little overly confident, but now he's really coming into his own. So just give him this season. Especially, you got to keep in mind, I mean, he's kind of been bottled down with he's been bottled down with LA and DeMar DeRozan, so it's potential there. So yeah, that's not fair.
Dejounte Murray on the roster for a long time now. It's not like this is all thrown together last minute. They've had years to try to figure this thing out and try to move pieces around, or
Kawhi just left a few years ago. What do you mean?
Some sort of consolidation move or whatever, and like crickets. I just wonder what they're doing, and maybe I'm losing sight of the big picture. Maybe RC Buford and Greg Popovich and everyone is like listening to this right now, laughing their asses off because they have a plan. Like, fine, that'd be great. I just have no clue what that plan is, because they are hiding it very, very well, which of course leads me to believe them.
Leads
me to fear rather that they don't have a plan. I hope they do.
They're a top tier NBA franchise. They have some type of plan, some type of direction they're going in. I think right now they're banking on potential. Who's going to be the next superstar that we can potentially build around? I think that's the direction they're going in. So,
but like looking over this roster and looking over some of their decision and even non-decisions, I'm skeptical of what they're trying to achieve.
And that's fair. Everybody's skeptical.
I think those are fair criticisms.
All right. Okay. Well, what did we learn today? Not much. You'll see what the ratio is. We got 11 to 20. I'm going to be honest. I didn't hate this video. Okay. So I'm not going to give them a thumbs down. I'm not going to be that unfair. I'm going to say good video, but could have been better, I guess. I don't know. Okay. All right. Let's comment on that. All right. So we learned nothing. Good video. If you guys want to support the channel, linked right here in the description. It is patreon.com/clan the Spurs fan. So go support that. Thank you so much. I'm doing giveaways each month, by the way. So so it's only $2 a month. So if you want to support the channel, I mean, this was a good video to react to. If you guys have any other videos you want me to react to, just leave the link in the Discord under Spurs content, and yeah, we'll I wasn't mad at that one. I was not mad at that one, but I'll give it to you guys later. Till next time. Deuces, baby.